Hello everyone, today we'll talk about the problem longest palindrome. We're given a string S, and we can use letters from S, maybe only some letters, rearrange them however we want, and we want to create the longest palindrome possible. So we want to discard as few letters as possible from S, so that the remaining string after rearrangement is a palindrome. So let's think about how a palindrome looks. Of course, when we have a string which is palindromic, then of course those elements have to be equal. And those elements have to be equal. And those elements, so the first and last, second and second to last, and so on. And maybe in the middle, either there are two elements, or maybe there is only a single element, and in that case that single element can be arbitrary. So now, if we want that palindrome to be as long as possible, then we just have to, whenever we are left with two numbers, two letters, that are the same, we can add them one to the left end, one to the right end of our palindrome, and get a bigger palindrome. So in other words, we can take equal elements in pairs and increase the answer by 2. And the only thing that we have to keep in mind is that it's also possible to create an odd length palindrome. And in that case, we would have that middle element be whatever we want, but there can be only one middle element, and of course, we must make sure that we didn't use all the elements as pairs. So we just have to count for every letter how many times it appears. I'm just using a default dict of int, there are other ways to do it. And now we'll take half of all the numbers of occurrences for every letter, round it down. So this is the number of good pairs. So every good pair gives us 2 letters to our longest palindrome. And now if there are any letters left, we also have to increase the result by 1, because we can take any one of those letters that are remaining, so any one of those letters that appear an odd number of times in S, and add it as the middle letter in our palindrome. So we just check if the length of the string S is greater than the length of our palindrome, so because that's exactly when there is a remaining character. And that's all that's necessary to solve this problem.